Good morning, Qing Ling.
Hi, Julius.
Thank you for joining me in this Coffee with Bushiroad series. Yep, I'm very honored to have you here because I think you have been with us for about 4 years now. And from what I can remember, I think you started out as a secretary to our very first CEO of Bushiroad. Back then we called him Kidani-kaicho. About now we call him Kaicho. Then you were doing some admin stuff as well.
Yeah.
And then about, I think 2-3 years ago, you changed your position to a sales position. Yeah. So I think that's very interesting choice on your end. So I thought, I would want to ask you some questions about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But before that, I have prepared some pastries and coffee and tea for us. Yeah. So feel free to pick any of the pastries here. There are some yam, some green tea pastries, some red bean ones.
Okay.
Yep. And then coffee, tea, and water. Which one would you like?
Coffee, please.
Coffee?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not a barista, but I will do my best.
Okay.
Yep. I have a French press here. Coffee. Smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This smell wakes me up. Yeah. What were you thinking about when you decided to join sales? What made you decide to join sales?
Because in the middle of 2017, there was an opening offered to me in the sales team, and because I've been in the admin team for around over 2 years, and I thought maybe I should try to learn something new, and sales was a totally new department for me. So I didn't have any prior sales experience, so I decided to take up the role.
I would say that's very brave of you, and a very you have a growth mindset to want to learn something new beyond what you were doing.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to even consider doing sales in the first place?
The job scope was totally different from what I was doing, because previously I was just mainly concentrating on internal company affairs. So I thought it'd be good if I can try to communicate more to external parties. A wider exposure for me. Yeah.
And how was being secretary to Kidani-kaicho back then was like? Maybe there's some tidbits of information you could share with us on how he's like.
Kidani-kaicho was a very nice man, a nice boss to work with. He's quite easygoing. Yeah, and he didn't have any unreasonable demands out of me or anything. Yeah.
So he didn't was like, oh, Qing Ling, bring me some tea.
No. He's quite chill about all this. Yeah. Not like your typical Japanese boss you were expecting. Yeah.
So I guess that can be, when they hear secretary to a Japanese boss, there could be some memes out there, that they could be like, asking you to, take tea, take coffee, but he's not like that.
Yeah, he's a very easygoing boss. For me,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Did you learn anything that you hoped to learn before you joined it?
Yeah. Because my goal of joining the sales team was to expose myself more to the global market and communicate more to our international partners. So I managed to learn the skills in this. And I get to travel a lot more than in my previous role.
So you hope to learn communication skills, to communicate with external vendors and stuff like that. Okay. So could you share with us what's your day-to-day routine like?
Usually first thing in the morning when I reach office, I would be checking my emails and replying to the more urgent emails to our distributor, and I'll follow up by order processing, such as generating quotations and maybe invoices, and I also follow up with the payment matters. Interdepartmental wise, I work very closely with our accounts team and with regards to distributor payment matters, and I also work closely with our marketing team, the respective brand marketers for our in-house distributor newsletter.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work to do. Okay, so you mentioned the first thing that you do in the morning is to check your email. I'm not sure if I want to know, but how many emails do you get, every day?
It depends on the period, because sometimes it'll be a busier period during the time of pre-order deadlines and stuff. So usually around the end of the month. would be quite busy.
So roughly how many emails would you be getting during the busier periods? Like when you come in the morning, you have your English breakfast, tea and sipping, and then what's the number you see in your inbox?
Maybe about 100. Yeah.
And that's excluding all the support emails that we actually get.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe you can share with us, like, because you actually mentioned like a whole list of activities that you have to cover within your job scope. What's the thing that you enjoy most in your current job scope?
I enjoy communicating with our distributor and handling their inquiries, mainly like the customer support area, and I also enjoy attending events overseas and meeting the distributors.
Oh, so you do actually sometimes you have to travel overseas, not just to help support our tournaments, but you also have to meet up with distributors all over the world, to discuss some stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much of the event meeting part. Mainly, I've been doing event support. Yeah.
Okay. And so what do you usually discuss with the distributors, or what do you guys talk about during the meetups?
Sometimes we talk about how the game is doing in their country, and how's the like any feedbacks from shops, because we go for shop visits with the distributors as well, and yeah, how's sales going in the country.
Yeah, they have to keep track of that because we can't keep track of like how the shops there are doing. So I guess you have to get the information from the distributors in that region.
Yeah. An issue that we face is insufficient stock, because sometimes there's a much higher demand than expected from the player. So the products run out way before the release date, and yeah, we would advise players to place their pre-orders early with the retailers or shops, so that we can get a more accurate numbers when we are gauging the production quantity.
Well, I suppose out of all the different problems, I suppose this is a good problem that we would like to have more, definitely. But I guess at the same time, one way to kind of like not to disappoint the players, from what I understand, the players if they order more from the shops and distributors, and then we would know like roughly how much quantity to produce, and then they would have the stocks to buy. Yeah,
and how much more to buffer for everyone.
So I suppose that's one way players can actually, in a way, they affect the quantity. So that's actually really good information. Well, this is kind of the challenges that you face every day, but we don't get to see it.
The back end part of sales that is not shown.
Understandably. And also sometimes during the office, I actually see you and your sales team, and then you guys actually go out together and then visit cut shops around Singapore.
Correct.
Could you maybe share with us a little bit regarding that?
Shop visit is a tradition started by our first CEO, Kidani-kaicho. I think he brought the practice over from Japan. So we'll go with our local distributor to visit the cut shops once every few months, and to try to gather feedback about how our product sales are doing in their shops, see if there's anything the shop owners would like to feedback to us about, and to check out the displays in the shop and see if we can make any improvements to them, to make our products more eye-catching in the shops.
Wow. Okay, so this kind of this practice of visiting cut shops is actually not like done elsewhere.
It's a practice that Kidani-kaicho brought over from Japan.
Wow. Yeah, I do know Bushiroad Japan, they actually do visit a lot of cut shops as well. But I didn't know it was like brought over by Kidani-kaicho. Wow. Okay. So I guess it actually adds a touch of human element to all this.
A more personal touch.
Exactly. And I suppose it's very beneficial as well because we're actually selling physical goods. So it's actually a lot easier to see how it's doing in the field itself.
Correct.
So you never know like what kind of insights you might gain and derive from just visiting the shops.
You get first-hand information from the shop owners.
How the products are doing. Were there any thing that you learned during this kind of shop visits?
Shacho likes to check to see the displays in the shop if our recent product releases are on the shop. Put out on the shops. If not, we'll offer our help to try to put out our posters for them also.
This is one thing that we wouldn't be finding out if we didn't actually visit the cut shops itself. And I suppose the cut shop owners, they will actually feel like, this company actually cares about how we're doing as well. Yeah. I don't suppose a lot of other people will actually go down and visit them.
Yeah, especially like the CEO of such a big company.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So Qing Ling, is there any tips and advice that you would give to people who might be thinking of joining the sales industry?
I think first off, you need to be very open with meeting new people, and you need to conduct yourself in a very professional way, and you need to be good at talking to people. Yeah.
And I might be wrong, but I do suppose you're more of the introvert side as well.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be a big challenge to you.
Correct. Yes.
So how do you overcome that? Like how do you change hat or change gear? Okay, today I need to talk to people on the phone and meet them, because I would be like I wouldn't know how to change gear like that.
Because most of these people I've already communicated with them over emails, and so it kind of feel, when you're meeting them face to face, it's kind of like you're meeting a friend. Yeah.
You wouldn't feel like you're meeting like a
stranger,
and they don't make you feel awkward. So it's just like meeting a friend that you've been talking to, like a pen pal, I suppose. Like an email pen pal.
Yes.
So you mentioned you didn't have any prior sales experience. Can you share with us maybe like what do you do before joining Bushiroad actually?
Before joining Bushiroad, I was mainly in the education industry. So yeah, I was in charge of examinations.
That's interesting. Maybe you can share with us a little bit, like were you examiner?
Oh, sometimes I need to be the invigilator, but mainly I'm in charge of all the logistics part of examinations, such as editing the exam scripts and like arranging for printing, and maybe like seating arrangements of students and stuff.
Okay. So by invigilator, you mean like when students are actually taking exams, you're the one walking around the aisles and giving them pressure.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So I suppose you do have some experience, walking the aisles, and in a way similar to what our judges do at tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you put your hands behind your back and then you walk.
Yeah. Correct.
I suppose that's one relevant information to what you're doing right now. Yeah. Do you have any other jobs prior to that?
Still in the education industry.
Oh.
Yeah. I worked as the front end staff before for registration and stuff. Yeah.
So that's another experience that's relevant. Yeah. So you have to do
kind of a customer service experience. Yeah.
Same thing as wregistering our players' deck.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's relevant.
the early part of your life has been building you towards Bushiroad. This is your road to Bushiroad. Wow, Qing Ling, that's a lot of information that you have shared with me. Thank you so much for the insights, because I don't know anything about the sales role. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But please help yourself.
Thank you.